Get ready for a weekend warm-up, but you might want to think twice before taking a dip into the water. We'll explain why officials in Long Beach are telling people to stay away from the beach. Plus, busting illegal pot shops in Southern California. We take you inside the takedown, and we'll explain why investigators say these shops may be hurting our communities in more ways than one. You're watching The Rundown. Hello, everyone. I'm Robin Winston. It's been a ski and snowboard season to remember in our mountains, but now it's coming to an end for some. Big Bear Mountain Resort announced they're closing after this weekend. In the weeks ahead, they plan to begin working on improving the resort. That includes a fully paved path from Bear Mountain's base area buildings to its Adventure Academy. Snow Summit will remain open through the end of the month. From the slopes to the surf, there will be plenty of sunshine to enjoy this weekend, but we're in for a bit of a weather roller coaster. We're checking in with meteorologist Belen De Leon, who's timing it out in your first alert forecast.
Hi there. Well, the weather doesn't quite feel like April. More like summer, July, August. Temperatures are expected to be in the 80s and 90s through Saturday. In the mountains and along the I-5 corridor, be careful with crosswinds. We're going to have some gusty conditions there at times over the weekend. And if you want that cooler weather, you're going to have to wait until early next week. That's when we have the return of the marine layer. Look at the trend in Riverside, where we're finishing off the work week with 91. Saturday, still pretty warm, 89. We get a break Sunday, Monday, Tuesday with temperatures in the low 80s and 70s. Then we go back up the weather roller coaster by the middle of next week. So we're getting into that time of year when these temperatures are going to be more frequent in our forecast. Time to go over those heat safety tips. Stay in the AC, safe outdoor activity for the morning, drink plenty of water, take breaks in the shade, and of course, take care of yourself and others, the elderly, kids, and pets. Stay safe, everyone.
Those are some great tips. And if you were looking to beat the heat by heading to the beach, be warned. Long Beach City health officials are temporarily closing all open coastal swimming areas because of a sewage spill. So the LA County Sanitation District says an equipment malfunction caused a temporary blockage in the sewage system. It caused an overflow in Downey, and authorities say about 250,000 gallons of sewage made it to the LA River Channel before crews could contain it. It's state law to close beaches in these situations until the water quality meets state requirements. People who live in the area are allowed to stay in their neighborhood, but visitors are asked to stay away. New details in a case we first told you about last month. LAPD detectives have arrested a man accused of animal cruelty. So the arrest comes after disturbing video was released showing the man throwing a caged puppy over a fence in Tujunga. Police say 25-year-old Daniel Arias took the dog out of his truck, still in its crate, and just tossed it. Animal service personnel say the puppy is still recovering from its injuries, but will be available for adoption soon. Right now, it's recommended that women start their breast cancer screenings at age 50. But some researchers say mammograms should start way earlier for Black women. So a new study published in the Journal of American Medical Association says Black women should start their breast cancer screening 8 years earlier at age 42. That's partially because Black women in their 40s have the highest mortality rate. The study's author says the current one-size-fits-all policy to screen all women at a certain age is neither fair nor optimal. 80 years ago, LA's Griffith Park was an internment camp. It's a painful part of our country's past that many people don't even know about. Well, now the park is taking steps to acknowledge what happened there. The city installed a sign regarding the area's dark past to educate people about the internment camps. They were created following the 1941 attack on Pearl Harbor to imprison Americans based solely on their race. So we spoke to the granddaughter of one of the people detained during that time period, and she hopes the sign brings awareness.
What happened to us is simply part of a long history of this country. It's not that well known. I mean, people think Griffith Park? Well, I mean, when I heard it was like, no.
The sign is located where the barracks to the internment camp once were. Illegal pot shops are just popping up all over Southern California, and some are operating in plain sight and even near schools. The I-Team has been following a special state task force that busts unlicensed cannabis dealer. They may look legit, but investigators say they're not, and they're hurting our communities in more ways than one. Investigative reporter Lolita Lopez got a first-hand look.
Inside this corner office space in South LA, Investigators say they found 120 pounds of cannabis products, including illegal edibles and flour, a street value of more than $220,000. The NBC4I team joined the California Department of Cannabis Control and members of a state task force busting shops they say may look legitimate but are unlicensed and operating illegally.
The heavy fortifications over the window are a giveaway.
But definitely not legitimate at all.
No, this is 100% illegal.
DCC Chief Bill Jones says illegal cannabis shops are selling products that are banned in the state and potentially dangerous.
The consumers don't know what they're even getting if they do purchase from a location like this.
Yeah, absolutely. There could be mold in there. There could be pesticides. Frequently, there's both and other contaminants.
DCC says some of the illegal shops go to great lengths to make products look like the regulated real thing, including using QR codes that even link to a licensed operator.
Where this stuff's coming from can be doing serious damage to the landscape of the state of California.
The California Department of Fish and Wildlife also part of this task force. Assistant Chief Frank Embry.
Usually we're dealing with outdoor harvest on the fish and wildlife end, and there's a lot of environmental damage that goes into the product being grown, harvested, etc. So by the time they get it here, it's probably got, banned or, illegally used chemicals in the process.
Our guys are in there right now looking for receipts, looking for sales records.
Tama Adamek is with the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration.
The money that these folks are not paying could have come back here and would have come back to this community to clean it up and to healthcare, public safety, schools, and all those kinds of things.
And DCC says while some illegal dispensaries like to disguise their locations, others do not, including this one, welcoming us with balloons.
Among the illegal cannabis and cash inside this location, investigators say they also found an unlicensed, untraceable gun.
It was a ghost gun, semi-automatic AR rifle, short barrel.
Illegal.
100% illegal.
He says these illegitimate shops often have heavy security and tend to attract other criminals. DCC tells the I-Team one of the 3 locations we visited was linked to a local gang and sits 1 block from an elementary school.
It really is a dangerous situation for the community.
In 1 year, DCC-led search warrants more than doubled. Pounds of cannabis seized increased 246%. Arrests more than tripled. And cannabis plants destroyed saw a whopping 1,200+% spike. In this latest operation, more than 766 pounds of cannabis was seized from 11 locations, a value of nearly $1.5 million.
We need to level the playing field because there are good dispensaries and good businesses that are playing by the rules, and it's not fair.
DCC's advice to find a legitimate shop: look for a license from their agency like this one. Shops that are paying their taxes and operating legally must display the license. For the I-Team, Lolita Lopez, NBC4 News.
Legal pot shop owners say they're dealing with major sales tax issues here in California, but shops in Long Beach may get some help. The city council passed a measure aimed at lowering city taxes for its local cannabis industry. It's inspired by a similar measure in Santa Ana. We talked to a man who operates 17 dispensaries.
Every step you get, it puts it on people's consciousness. It is contagious, and it's also proof that they're hearing us. They know it's not sustainable, and they know they have to do something.
Shop owners say it's tough to compete with illegal operators who don't pay any taxes at all. The tax change in Long Beach isn't a done deal yet. They're still working out the details of the program. Knott's Berry Farm is bringing back its chaperone policy. They say it's to make its park safer. Guests 15 and younger visiting the park after 4 p.m. will now need to be accompanied by a chaperone who's at least 21 years old. One chaperone is responsible for up to 10 guests. In a statement, the park says there have been increasing incidents of unruly and inappropriate behavior at the park, and the goal is to keep all guests safe. All right, if you drive the 91 freeway from Orange to Riverside County, you've probably seen the bicentennial Freedom mural at Prado Dam. It may have lost some of its luster over the years, but that's about to change. The nearly 80,000 square foot mural is being restored to its former glory. It was originally painted back in 1976 to commemorate 200 years of freedom for our country. So over the decades, it has, faded a little bit. It's been vandalized. And after getting approval from the Riverside County Flood Control Royal and Army Corps of Engineers painting. That's all that's needed. So painters just needed $140,000 from sponsors to repaint it, which turned out to be no problem at all.
And there was actually people like fighting over letters and fighting over the bell. And then there was like an auction for one of them. I really want that one, I'll pay extra.
Our country's not perfect, just like the Liberty Bell. We have maybe a long way to go, but there's a goal and there's a symbol that we all want to work toward, and we're all in this together.
Perry, who you just heard from, actually designed this mural in 1976 with his high school classmate and helped paint the original. The mural should be finished in the next 7 to 10 days. Can't wait to see it. As we celebrate Climate Week, we want to give a shout out to a local group called Trail Mothers Los Angeles. It organizes trash pickup events along Southern California's beautiful hiking trails. Since its founder, Christian Hernandez, started the movement back in 2017, Trail Mothers has been beautifying local trails and parks. As the name Trail Mothers suggests, moms and dads would bring their children to trash cleanup events so they can learn more about the importance of restoring and revitalizing the environment. There's also the benefit of hiking, enjoying the outdoors, and of course, making new friends. And we just love seeing everyone come together for the good of Mother Earth. You can always get news and weather updates on the NBCLA app and our website, NBCLA.com. And be sure to tune into Today in LA on NBC4 weekdays 4 to 7 a.m. I'll be helping you get around with traffic reports throughout the morning. I'll see you next time on The Rundown.